6. And so the black additive in there is for dirt repellent, and it's also high floor. And so it should be quite fast. Again, this is an industrial size block. This is a lot of pairs of skis. If you are using this, it's not cheap. It comes in little tiny squares in the store. And so of course you want to be conservative with the use. I always like striping just because I feel like I have good control. There's a lot of different methods for application, but I think that's the best way to do it. And so with this block, I just turn it on corner and then make a nice skinny stripe up the ski and back.
Hey Dylan, if
yeah.
you have that, you can use MB77 and HF6.
Yeah, you could combine the two. I would put the 4 down first,
Yeah.
put the 77 on top of that, and scrape and brush it out completely, and then the 6 over the top of that guy. Just because the MB77 is a bit softer. This is the base black additive low floor wax that in real dirty conditions is a great one to add as the base. It's a bit softer though, and so it'll take away a bit from the hardness factor and the durability, but if you sandwich it in there, it'll be fine. So this guy.
So MB77 scrape and then HF4.
Yeah, if you want to add the black additives. You'll also probably have good skis with just the straight HF6 too, without doing that, because that you want that nice hardness underneath also. But a little bit of that black additive will be good to
That's molybdenum?
It is, yeah. And so again with the...
Hey Dylan, if you're going to do the 77, do you put the... Okay,
No, they're very different.
Okay, do you put the 4 down first and then the matte black, and you skip the 4?
I would still put the 4 down first, just to condition the base.
So, with a hard hydrocarbon.
Yeah, hard hydrocarbon. So, again, just thin layer on there. There's no spillage over the side. I have a little bit of crown skis, so I just go in and fix that guy up.
Worried about places like that?
Yep, I just come in with the iron just like this and just spread. If you have the option to buy thicker plated irons, that's better. Like this guy, like the new racing service irons have a real meaty plate on them. It's quite a bit of steel. Actually, this guy's a scaled down too. We don't have any new ones out, but they're about, again, this much thicker. They just hold heat really well. You can spread and heat the wax at the same time. The thinner plate irons is just a little harder to do that. They don't do the spreading job quite the same way. So this is the main race layer on there now. If you want to come up and touch it, it's not too hot again, but that wax is in there. I would be more than satisfied to race 50K on this guy.
Don't worry about places like that.
Oh yeah, if I was racing,
Yeah, so how long?
4 or 5 minutes, until it feels like it's down to room temperature. You just don't want to scrape these guys while they're still piping hot, basically. Let that stuff solidify up a little bit.
Do you reheat it for durability, Dylan?
Yeah, sorry?
Do you reheat it again for durability? Or?
You can, and especially if you've missed some spots. I'd hit one, get it pretty well on there, and then let it cool down, and then come back and hit it again. So it's really on there. But really, I don't know, people talk about reheating wax in. It seems like if you do a pretty good pass on the first one, it's in there. It doesn't seem to change the durability in our testing. One thing you'll find probably interesting is that by doing a very thorough brushing of the wax when it comes off the ski, for the first 3K, that ski is much faster than one that's not thoroughly brushed. And then they equalize in speed. And so if you want to have fast skis from,
The start.
3 all the way through, and then, thorough brush with the steel and nylon out. If you're less thorough, your skis by 3K into the race will be just as fast, because all that particulate that's still in the structure is going to get ripped out by the snow and the abrasiveness of it. Cool. Any questions on that guy before we jump up to the powders?
If you overbrush, can you overbrush?
Not that I know of. Well, if you take the roto brush and
Well, I
then
mean,
you're
aside from the,
Yeah,
the chuck approach to things.
like the main thing is until the ski looks clean when you're brushing.
Uh-huh.
Like if you feel like you've gotten it all out, then you've probably gotten it all out.
Okay.
Like you'll see some like high school age boys, and they'll be there with the nylon brush, and they're scrubbing away, and they're like half an hour later in there scrubbing away, and you're like, dude, what's going on? So I can get my ski real fast. Like, yeah, your arms are gonna be real tired tomorrow for the race. So I think the main thing is like once you stop knocking wax out of the ski, like you're probably getting there, and then like just a few more passes with it to make it clean. And
How about a horsehair brush?
yeah, horsehair, especially on the powders, good brush to use.
Is that because it's finer?
Yeah, and I think the hair diameters are really small,
Yeah.
and so they just get in there nice and deep and knock that stuff out. The main thing, like they make like blue brush. They make like 7 million types of brushes.
Yeah.
Every company does, but basically like a steel brush, a nylon brush, and if you're going to do high floor powders, a horsehair brush, and you're pretty well set to go on that. I of course have, like from high school, like they had us with like our own, you have your